Welcome to my third video blog. I'm back, baby! So last night I was in downtown Los Angeles at the opening of Art Platform, and I wanted to use this vlog as an opportunity to compose some of my thoughts on modern art. Now, the opening last night had a lot of great exhibits, as well as a whole hell of a lot of beautiful people. Gallerinas. You know, I don't know the term for a male gallerina. Would it be a gallerino? Anyway, there were paintings, installations, sculptures, a lot of interesting stuff. So much stuff, in fact, that the whole event overwhelmed me. And I think this speaks to the foundations of what I feel about modern art. For example, there was a lot of installations making use of the iPod. When I look at a piece of iPod art, I really don't know what it is I'm supposed to be thinking. And I think that's because the history of iPod art is a short one. Right, so the traditions of the mainstream art forms, painting, literature, music, filmmaking, sculpture, dance, theater, poetry, and I would even say comics, all have a rich history from which they draw a kind of strength. Since the relationship with what came before in these forms is so storied, no pun intended, they necessarily add to their complexity in a way new forms can. For example, if in my own book I reference, say, Hawthorne, who believed that the object of his work was to increase the audience's appetite for complexity, then I am bringing with me and attaching to my work not only his ideas, but the ideas he drew from, so on, extending back to the origins of literature. But this relationship goes the other way too. T.S. Eliot said, "What happens when a work of art is created is something that happens simultaneously to all the works which preceded it. The existing monuments form an ideal order among themselves, which is modified by the introduction of the new, the really new work of art among them. The existing order is complete before the new work arrives, and when it does arrive, the whole existing order must be, ever so slightly, altered." So really you can think of the history of literature or painting or dance or sculpture as a kind of creature, a living thing as complex as the history of its form, but necessarily must change when a new thing is added to it. The point is that we're talking about a level of complexity that iPod art just can't stand up to yet. Now I believe, like Hawthorne did, and maybe you don't, that the key purpose of any work of art, if there is any at all, is to increase the appreciation of complexity in the world. So getting back to Art Platform from last night, when I see these new forms of installation art, I feel a little bit puzzled because I don't have that living creature to compare it to. Now maybe in 100 years, iPod art is going to have a history like you never thought. And then you'll be able to look at the origins of iPod art and say, wow, look at the evolution of this art form. Though what the hell is the 2100 AD iPod going to look like? The point is, I think, and I may be a little bit naive for saying this, but I need tradition to appreciate some of this modern art. Of course, that's what they said about filmmaking, and now we're about 100 years on, and look at what we've accomplished so far.
A man will search his heart and soul, go searching way out there. His peace of mind he knows he'll find, but where, oh Lord, Lord, where? Right away, right away.
Stay strong, you forebearers of iPod art. Keep at it, keep working. I will see you in 100 years.